Guys, right now Bitcoin has come back down to this key level after getting rejected at 17.5. But if we fail to hold this level, what are the chances that we come down to our next extremely significant target all the way down here? How far would we have to go? And even on these weekly time frames, this is what lines up as a very critical level that needs to hold for a bullish continuation to play out over the next few weeks. Guys, will this continue to be a quick dip, or will this be an incy-wincy, teensy-weensy little dump all the way down to our key levels? Let's do this. Welcome back, everyone. It's me, your favorite wizard host, Harry Pumper, or as the ladies like to call me, Harry Dumper. Guys, unbelievable. We have a lot to be focusing on in today's Bitcoin video, as it does look that we're about to get a confirmation this downturn could actually end up reaching our low targets, which in the short term might be one of the best buying opportunities there is, but in the long term, this is the pullback we need if we're going to continue pushing higher throughout this year and especially into 2021. So with that being said, we're going to be talking about two extremely key levels that I want you to look at in this chart, because they line up in very much different time frames and they're absolutely crucial, and we could be seeing a continued drop quick to the downside, as opposed to this kind of inching up pumping that we've been seeing over the past 2 months, right? Usually price pumps very slowly to the upside, but the drops are always usually significantly more quick, right? They happen a lot quicker, and I think that that adds to the fear in the market, because when you see the price drop so drastically, especially if you're not used to it, especially if you just bought in near a recent local top, and especially if you're new to the market, it can seem extremely scary, but fear not, guys. This is all part of the plan. And as well, guys, I did want to warn everyone, there are just so many scammers in the comments, right? I am never going to comment in my comments or send you emails anywhere giving you a phone number, a telegram, or anything like that. Never respond to it. Just ignore it. I try my best to block these people. It's happening to every crypto YouTube channel that I've seen. They're everywhere, and I block keywords, I block their accounts, but they make like 10 new accounts minimum per day or something. So it's very hard. So the best thing I can do, honestly, is just address it like I'm doing right now. Don't fall for any scams. Don't ever send anyone your crypto. It's a scam. In fact, if you see them in the comments, if they reply to your comment, maybe you can just leave a reply back to them calling them a fiat fister. Guys, did you know if you turn this button blue, you'll wake up on Christmas morning with that one thing that you've always dreamed of? Mwah! So take those sticky fingers and smash that button. And as well, guys, only 3 days left. If you need a ledger, so many of you have been taking advantage, including myself, guys. This is one of the best deals, probably the best deal we're going to get for at least another 4, 5, 6 months on Ledger. If you need a Hoarder wallet, if you're ready for these gains, you definitely don't want to keep them on an exchange. So again, make sure to take advantage of these links using promo code BlackFriday20 at checkout. Gainers galore, guys. So currently Bitcoin's price has continued its dump in this daily candle. And one thing we notice right off the bat is that the volume, the dumpage volume, is actually extremely high, especially locally, right? It's the highest that we see on this chart, except for the crash back in March. So that is saying something, right? This is the highest daily volume candle in this red that you've seen going all the way back to March of 2020, when we had the absolute cataclysmic collapse. So currently there are some levels that we're looking for, and one specifically that we have to recognize right now is that we've actually broken below the 21-day moving average so far. Doesn't mean we're going to get this daily candle to close below it, but so far we are significantly below it. We are about $400 at the time of recording below this. Now, if we switch over to this chart, guys, clearly, again, you see we've broken this parabolic structure and we've found support as of yesterday's candle at about 16,200, right? 16,000, 16,200. And again, our daily candle so far is still higher than that, but it looks as though we might come back down to test that, in which case, if we fail, there is a significant chance that we could be going all the way back down to this key level. So this green line lines up on 3 other charts on 3 different time frames that I have right now. So it's roughly about the $13,800 to $14,000 range, right? So now if we go to this chart, this is the 4-hour chart. This was the daily chart. On this 4-hour chart, the point of control of all of this accumulated data volume we see on this chart here is also 13.8. More specifically, it's about 13.75, but basically right down at this exact same area. You can see it here with this red line. And if we do break through here, one also very important thing to note is that there is accumulated volume in a lot of these areas, and that's illustrated by these blue boxes here, right? I don't necessarily think we're just going to go straight down, but if we do get a rejection here, which we haven't yet, so keep that in mind, if we actually break below 16,000, that is what would initiate that. Okay, and as we talked about yesterday, there's a fair amount of support, honestly, on the way down. We have the 15,500, which is a whale cluster, and you can see there's quite a bit of volume here on the VPVR as well, so I don't think we're just going to slice through that like butter. I think it may take some time if we end up breaking 16, so again, good chance that that could hold as support. But the honestly next level after 15.5 is a little bit under 14 in my opinion, so 14 itself should act as some significant support as it is a big even number. But I do think it is possible that we could actually, just go slightly below that. And here's another reason why that's so key, right? Besides this 1 hour chart, but on this weekly chart, guys, the reason that's so important is because that brings us down to the bottom of our fib channel here of about 13,890. So roughly, again, 13,800. So as you can see on this weekly chart, so far, we've come back down to the top of this, and that's where we've bounced so far, right? That's one of the key reasons this is significant. And also, if we take a look here real quick before we continue with that, the RSI, after we did top out seemingly so far, we're right now approaching kind of that level where we're no longer overbought, which is right around 70 on the RSI. Now, what you have to pay attention to as well is that in the past cycles, when we had this exact pullback, which is the one we've talked about a lot, back at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, we basically touched on the same level of the RSI up here, up around 85, 84-ish, and we didn't find support on this 70 line one single time. So that's something we really have to keep in mind. We are very close to that. But the chances of this holding as support, at least based on historical data, there's not a lot of data showing that that is something that's realistic, right? Every single time after we came into this 85 plus region or even 84 plus region here on the RSI, on the weekly, when we did get that rejection, we came back to at least, anything under 70, right? We did not find support on the 70 on the weekly one single time on the RSI. So again, that doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen this time, but it is something you want to have in your mind when we're looking for these pullbacks, right? Because the pullback can go significantly lower. It can bring the RSI, and again, this is the key level that it did hold throughout the entire bull market of 2017, was the 53-ish line, right? And that's exactly where we held as well over the last few months before we got this mega bounce from 53 all the way up to about 84, which is absolutely wild. So currently from 84 then down to 71 on the RSI. Do I think it's likely that we'll bounce right at the 70 line on the RSI? No, for the reasons I just said, right? I think that we're in for more of a substantial pullback over the next week or so, right? And honestly, even just coming down anywhere in that 53, the 62 was a decent level that got a few bounces as well. But just looking at the RSI, that's one thing I'm looking for. And the key thing here is that we've gotten the pullback down to the 786 of this fib retracement, but coming back down to the 0.65 and even the 0.618, basically between 13,004 and 13,009. So that entire area right here. And on a weekly chart, that is absolutely critical to hold. If we don't hold here at the $16,000 level, which is the 786, then it's imperative that we do hold at the 13,002 to 13,009 as a wide range, right? This level here. Because if we do end up coming below there, it gets a little more fishy. We still have the 21 week, which is amazing support. It's something we pull back to all the time. But that is when things get pretty close. It gets a little too dicey, right? It would be better, in my opinion, if we did hold at the very lowest, about 13.4 at the very lowest. That would be the best case, in my opinion, for a significant, very healthy pullback. If we do end up coming down to the 21 week, which again is still totally fine, a little bit above 12,000, that's still extremely healthy, but again, it's just getting a little too close to comfort. And as I'm sure you know, if we break below the 21 week, then that's where we have the ability to turn bearish. But I don't think it's valid to turn bearish until a scenario like that would happen, which again, we're still like $5,000 away from that. And in the immediate short term, like we said, the next level that we would see today if we get an actual breakdown from this level of about 16.5 would be right about 15.5, which is the point of control for this hourly chart of this volume of this accumulated data here. So that is yet another level to look for, because if we break 16 here, we're not going to go straight to 13. We're not going to go straight to 12. We'd most likely hit our next leg of about 15.5, right? This whole area right here, a fair amount of volume. Again, yet another level of support. So finally, if we just pull out this chart, I mean, clearly there's a fair amount of different support levels going down on this chart that we have a fair amount the entire way down. And in fact, our very first level of support has been holding for about 24 hours now. So that's good to see as well, that our very first level out of like 6 levels of support that we have on the way down to 12,000, our very first level is still holding pretty confidently. Now, if we do break this, again, we're talking about that 15.5 down to this next leg, right? And the last thing I want to highlight here is just actually Ethereum. So Ethereum, after this like 2-year resistance line here for Ethereum, after we got rejected off here just recently, exactly there at about 620, 630, $630. So far as well, we're holding on Ethereum's 21-day moving average, which is also just a very important horizontal level of resistance turn support. So Ethereum and Bitcoin are two coins that I watch every single day, but huge. As we said at the beginning of the video, if we cannot break through 16, then it is possible that we could still continue a rally. But for the most part, this is what I want to highlight, just that the very, very, very straight up parabolic structure has been broken. So I don't think we're going to be seeing $1,000 daily candles maybe 2 times a week like we have been seeing since the beginning of October, right? I think that for the short term is not going to be the scenario anymore. Wow, guys, so make sure to get your ledger. If you need one to store your crypto, make sure to not send any crypto to those scam comments, or don't join their Telegram groups that are also scams. And for anybody interested in trading, if you have experience and you want to support the channel, make sure to get up to an additional $610 deposit bonus using my link below. Remember, experienced traders only, leverage or not. Even spot trading in general can be very risky, so always consider that before you consider trading.